Calling the meeting to order. It is the Town of Arlington Board of Selectmen for July 26, 2018. We are starting a little bit late, which apologies for that. I just want to recognize who we have up here. Selectman John Hurd, all the way to my right. To my right is Joe Curo. I'm Dan Dunn. To my left is Selectwoman Diane Mahan, and all the way over is Selectman Kevin Greeley. With us we have Town Manager Adam Chapdelaine, Town Council Doug Heim, and I don't remember what your title is, Ashley Marr. I apologize. We're often served by Marie, our board administrator, and I apologize, Ashley. I still don't remember what your official title is, but you're taking notes and doing the minutes for us, and thank you very much. Only one item on the agenda today, which is the National Grid resolution for approval, and I will just note that the online one and the written one are slightly different, and I personally have strong opinions on it, so I personally, but I need somebody else to make a motion or to move forward. I'll say, so the difference is that this one in the printout says, includes a section that says, whereas the Boston Gas Workers Union has been bargaining in good faith to achieve a fair and equitable contract, and I had actually removed that from the draft because I wasn't comfortable saying it. I just don't have enough knowledge about it, and so I think we should. I guess it's up to you which motion you want to move, whether it includes that or doesn't include that. Whereas. Well,
I certainly want to. My motion would be to move the one.
The electronic one, without the talking about the good faith or not.
Right. I mean, if you're not comfortable with that, or I'm not trying to,
Yeah, and we should. This is exactly why we're here to talk about it. So we've got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Greeley. Discussion.
Just really briefly, I want to thank my colleagues and the town manager we discussed it at the last meeting and had a fairly detailed discussion then. And the main purpose of this is we're not trying to get involved with negotiations that are happening at the table between National Grid and its unions and its workers. But what we are trying to do is similar to what many cities and towns throughout the Commonwealth are now doing, that emergency work by National Grid definitely, has to be taken care of. But one of the things that a lot of people don't understand, when I've spoken to them about this, they said, well, then these workers shouldn't be striking. They're not striking. They were in the midst of negotiations, and National Grid basically locked them out, and they can't do the job that they need to do. So in the main import of this, that other cities and towns like Lowell, Lawrence, Boston, Malden, Braintree, I don't have the list in front of me, so I don't want to say any other ones that I'm not sure of, but it's a very long list and growing, is that we just want to relate to National Grid as well as the DPU, Department of Public Works and Utilities Commissioner, that our number one concern is the safety and well-being of the residents of the town of Arlington, many who do include union workers for National Grid, but first and foremost, most importantly, the well-being and safety of the residents of the town. And I've already seen we've lost a lot of trees on Mass Ave because of gas leaks that are ongoing. We can't really get involved in that. So I just wanted to lay that out there because a lot of people, once I tell them that, these workers aren't striking, they've been told they can't do their job and have lost all their benefits. So I want to thank my colleagues and the town manager and others for joining in this effort.
Mr. Greeley.
Yeah, so can I just ask Diane, when we were here last, there was a bargaining session. Was it the next day?
Correct.
And do we know results from that? Or I mean, obviously we're still here, so.
Would you like Mr. Curl as president?
Do you mind if I? Sure. Yeah, come on, sure. Could you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Joe Curl. I'm the president of Boston Gas Local 1203, United Steelworkers. We have just about 900 members that have been locked out of work, and their health insurance has been cut off as of July 1st. We've met 3 times with National Grid. Today we met with them. We intend to meet the following next 2 Thursdays. Hopefully we can break some ground and get back to work. In regards to that, National Grid, in the meetings that we've been in, are holding firm that that they want their new hiree package in place, so the next generation of workers that will step on the property will have a lot less benefits than we have. And it's not just pension benefits, it's sick time benefits, it's disability benefits. There's a host of benefits. And to be perfectly honest with you, over the last few contracts that we negotiated, we gave, which I'm not too proud of, we gave up a portion of our mark-out work, which is marking the mains and services on the streets. And matter of fact, Arlington is one of the towns that it was given up in. And we have that as something that we want to recuperate because it deals with public safety. We've also given up two-tier wage systems, and I'm not proud of that either. But when you're dealing with a company that's worth $82 billion in tangible assets, it's difficult. People don't want to make hard decisions. But I can tell you that between both locals, I think it's probably 96% of the people in a secret ballot voted not to give back anymore in regards to the next generation of workers, and they clearly support public safety. And I need to tell you this, this is not something that just started a couple months before June 24th when we got locked out. I personally wrote letters to two CEOs, Steve Holliday and current CEO John Pettigrew, previous president of U.S. Operations Tom King, and current president of U.S. Operations Dean Severs. Every single one of those letters, dozens of letters, were written on safety. And to say that National Grid is a broken company is clearly an understatement. This town here, just like all the other towns, when these vans roll into this town or a truck rolls in to fix a gas leak, they all have computers in them. Those computers are not working. Sometimes they're down for an hour, sometimes they're down for 2 hours or 3 hours, a day, 3 days.
Can I ask you to move along probably because...
Yes,
Thank you.
No problem. But I would just say that I want to appreciate everything you people are doing in regards to public safety, because public safety is key here. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I have?
Yeah, please, Kevin.
Thank you for being here. You said mark-out work? I'm just not quite sure what that means.
That means when you see yellow paint on the street that says a main or a service,
Okay.
that's the type of work.
And so what, they're outsourcing it instead of letting?
A large portion of it throughout our 36 cities and towns are outsourced. In Lexington, they've had hit lines up there that blown for 3 hours high pressure. They've blown for 5 hours because the mark-out work is not done adequately.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much. I didn't mean to.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anybody else? Mr. Kira.
I'm happy to support the resolution. I think we had a couple of residents who came before us who were directly impacted, obviously with at least the temporary loss of their livelihood. But I think we do have precedent as a board when we're dealing with a regulated public utility in taking stands around public safety and also the preservation of public assets. We certainly did that with double poles. We certainly have done that with issues with deficient tree work with the electrical utilities, and in this case, we also have a tree issue that's potentially impacted by this. So I think it is appropriate for us to take a stand on the safety issues, understanding that there's a this is just one small, we're one town in a large service area. So this is, a resolution that will affect some work, not all of the work that's coming down the pike. So I'm happy to do this, and I thank Ms. Mahan for bringing it forward.
Yeah, I'll be brief because just about everything's been said, but based on the people that have come before us, I'm convinced that there is a public safety concern here, and I've dealt with this as a resident. We've had a gas leak out in front of our house for a long time, and it took about a year and a half for it to get fixed. So I think there are a few things that National Grid as a company needs to address, and with this, I think this is our step towards saying we're going to protect our citizens while they get through this process. So.
Thank you. I also am persuaded it's public safety, and I'm happy to support it. I will say, though, I just want to say that there will come a point down the road, I don't know whether it's 60 days or 90 days or something like that, where I'm going to wonder what, and if things are still going, if we should be reconsidering. It may be time for us to reevaluate it, but I'm happy to take that as it comes and see how it goes. But I just wanted to share with the board that's what I'm happy to support it, but it's let's see how things develop and see what we learn. Any further discussion? Mr. Kereely.
So, and I believe we're unanimous here. So, once we vote this in, do we sign it, and then what are we doing with this proclamation? To these gentlemen, or to National Grid, or what do we do with it?
I think we hand it to town manager and hope he listens to us. And because I think in the end, this is actually the town manager's decision about, how it gets, how it actually gets implemented. I think it would be appropriate for us to send it to both companies and the DPU. I think would make sense to me.
If I can add that to Mrs. Mahan's motion, if she doesn't mind?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chaplin, do you wish to weigh in, or you?
I have actually just a question for the board's intent. In reading the language, the real meat of it is, that in the second, be it further resolved, the statement that no new permits for gas construction projects shall be issued by the Board of Selectmen. As the board knows, that's administratively issued through the engineering division. I just want to make sure I'm clear of the board's intent that no new permits for gas connections, whether they be for changeovers from oil heat or in new construction, would not be issued, but that for repair work, leak work, that is not under the moratorium that the board is voting tonight. I just want to make sure I'm understanding that.
Yes.
I see 5 heads nodding.
Okay.
I think, yes, I got to 5.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? 5-0. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn and reconvene.
I think we're
we're gonna move to adjourn.
we're going to call a totally separate
Move
meeting
to
to
adjourn.
have our working session.
Second Mr. Greeley's motion
And
to
then
adjourn.
our next meeting is August 13th is our next regular meeting. All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.